Welcome to a new episode of The Elements, a visual exploration of every atom in the universe. Today we're starting off our next exploration with NIOBIUM. Now, interesting fact about Niobe, the person that NIOBIUM is named after, it is a daughter of Tantalus, who is the son of Zeus. So she's the grandchild of Zeus. And once again, that person is fictionist. Look at the periodic table and you will find her element niobium and just above tantalum, which is named after Tantalus, the son of Zeus. Sadly, though, the element below tantalum is not named Zeusium. It is named dubnium. It was named dubnium after in the 1990s, after lots and lots of hours of arguing, none of which proposed the name Zeusium. No familiarity with the classics nowadays. Such a shame. Such a shame. Anyways, Niobe mourned the loss of her children who were killed by Artemis and Apollo. Yeah. And apparently the sample of niobium that the author had was confiscated by the FBI. Because apparently the author thought that he had owned an obsolete missile part, when in actuality it was a rocket nozzle that was still quite up to date, and the FBI really wanted to have it back. It was very much missed from the airbase in the United States of America. However, at very high temperatures, it is really useful in commonly used in jewelry and coins, because it can be beautifully anodized. I mean, look at that. How is that not a beauty? Hexagons are the bestagons. It's also corrosion resistant, and it's beautiful colors, which gives a name that makes niobium a very ideal element for the body piercings, which I would really not want to do myself. They are even used to create huge MRI magnetic resonance. Yeah, apparently you use them in MRIs as well too. Well, now that's a surprise in my opinion. Next up, we have to talk about its element statistics. We have atomic weight of 92.90638. Its density is 8.570. Its atomic radius is 198 picometers. Its crystal structure, it's a cube. It has a pretty high melting point, even higher boiling point. It has a pretty good amount of atomic emission spectrums. It has an electron filing order, and that's all I know. Looks like 5s decreased a little bit. Next up, we have molybdenum. Molybdenum is a metal of industry through and through. Its main applications are in steel alloys, which is pretty useful, where it gives it great strength and heat resistance. A little rule of thumb, pure metals are always a little bit weaker than their alloys. Pure molybdenum is much less common, but in such situations where a part must withstand great stress, you would use molybdenum so that it will give you enough strength to actually do something. Molybdenum is not often used in coinage, but it's not often used in coinage, but for some reason the author has one of it. There's this mineral named mineral wolfenite. It has a lot of lead, molybdenum, and 4 oxygen atoms. It's from the Red Cloud mine in Arizona. You even use them in nuts and bolts because it gives them great strength. And because of that great strength, those nuts and bolts will be able to withstand so much pressure. And then again, here we have its atomic weight, 95.94, its density is 10.280, its atomic radius is 190 picometers, and its crystal structure, it's a cube. It has a really high melting point, a really high boiling point too. And I'm not even going to talk about its electron filling order and atomic emission spectrum, just know that it's starting to increase. I mean, look at this. You see, it's starting to go up. Next up, we have technetium. Technetium itself is a very big anomaly. It's the only element that's radioactive in the middle of the table. Radioactive elements are not supposed to come until later. It's the only element sitting in the right smack table of the periodic table of elements that's actually radioactive. It's the 5th period of transition metals, and there's a clear line between the radioactive and the stable elements. Everything below bismuth is stable, everything above it is radioactive, except technetium and promethium, which stick out like sore thumbs, according to the author. And if you think that sticking into a sore thumb it's nothing, well, you gotta look at what technetium is used for. Technetium itself is used for an X-ray scans too. you think it might be bone cancer, you might find yourself being injected with a particularly short half-life version of technetium. Afterwards, it will turn into a half-life, which is bone-seeking, and thus can be used to create images when you go ahead and use it for X-rays or MRI scans. You can use it to even create something like this. I'll just give you, oh yeah, here we go. If you look closely, you'll see a radioactive symbol in the X-ray. Here, I'll give you a little bigger photo. Yeah, here we go. Number 43. Technetium. You see that X-ray hand printer that's very blurry? Yeah, there you go. The radioactive symbol. There. Yeah, there it is. And that's the most useful version of it. And I'm not going to stick around and talk more about it. I'm starting to get bored. Its atomic weight is 98. Its density is 11.5. Mainly because of its half-life. And it has an atomic radius of 183 picometers. It has a crystal structure of a hexagon. And it has a significantly high melting and boiling temperature. It has an atomic emission spectrum that's kind of very varied, and well, it looks like 5s filled itself back up. Next up, we have ruthenium, which is used a lot in vivid red colors. In the Middle Ages, a region inside modern-day Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus, it was known as Ruthenia, and this is where ruthenium was discovered, and it was named after this region before germanium was even named. A case can be made that it is the first element named for its discoverer's country, mainly because the person who came from it was from Ruthenia, and now Ruthenia is gone. Boo! But that region known as Rus in discoverer Karl Claus's day does not correspond with any modern-day nation-state. It's just by itself, Ruthenia. But unfortunately, since it's not a modern-day state, it doesn't really count. And ruthenium is the first of the precious metals, which include gold, silver, mind you. And it's really, really useful here too. You can use it to create vivid reds, as red and rubies. And cheap costume jewelers even plate themselves with ruthenium to make all those jewels sparkle. Especially when you want a darker finish, like a darker version of the diamond. And because of its high resistance to corrosion, plating an incredibly thin layer of it is very expensive. And so you put a little bit of that on top of some iron, and you call that a bunch of ruthenium jewels. That's probably more economically friendly to you than creating an entire jewel of ruthenium. Its atomic weight is 101.07, its density is 12.370, its atomic radius is 178 picometers, and its crystal structure of a hexagon has a pretty high melting point, and not that high boiling point compared to other metals. And I've never seen metal gas before. And looks like 5s dropped itself again. It has a really varied atomic emission spectrum. And last element for today, before I call this video for today, it's rhodium. Rhodium is famous for its extraordinary price swings, like one time it's here, the other time it's here, one time it's here, and then the time it's here. Like, if you bought a piece of rhodium in like January of 2004, and then you went ahead and sold it in, let's say, June of 2008, you would have multiplied how much you have earned by like $25,000 to $110,000 in 4 years. And if you bought $5,000 worth in June 2008 and sold it 5 months later, it would have been worth $380. Yeah, rhodium bites, so beware. You have to be careful. These price swings exist because of all that speculation. People really think about it, or just how much platinum is being mined. Rhodium occurs as a little constitute towards platinum ore, and so the more platinum you mine, the more rhodium residue you get. But if rhodium demand goes high, the supply of rhodium cannot meet it unless more platinum is mined, and that's not happening anytime soon. And when you don't have platinum, you can always put in a coat of rhodium to make it look like platinum. Platinum is more expensive than gold now, and that makes sense. And so you can use rhodium coating to go ahead and make up for the platinum stuff. Its atomic weight is 102.90550. Its density is 12.450. Its atomic radius is 173 picometers. Its structure is a cube, and it has a moderately high melting point. It has a pretty good amount of atomic emission spectrums as well too. Its 40 is starting to go up in its electron filling order. And that's all for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This is where I record my videos. This is my plan for the videos. But until next time, turn out. Peace. Bye bye.